Hi guys, Jay Smith here, welcome to AskGolfNut channel. So, Ben Hogan, commonly known as one of the best swingers and one of the most consistent ball strikers of all time. And that was because of his compact nature of his swing, and it's one-dimensional from its simplicity. It's very, very simple. There's not much to go wrong with it. And so, about 2 decades or so ago, probably just over 2 decades or so, when I was modeling my swing, I modeled my swing on him. Why? Because at that point, I didn't have a lot of time to dedicate to getting my swing into a more two-plane swing. I opted for a more simplistic one-plane swing. There are some huge advantages that a one-plane swing gives, or at least a swing very much so like Ben Hogan's, and it's simplistic. There's less to go wrong. You haven't got to have so many more movements that you've got time, you've got to compensate for. I found by using a one-plane swing, it makes things so much easier and quicker to learn. On a few videos over the passage of years, I have received comments about how flat I am. Again, I am someone who has my grip quite close to my shoulder. Again, modern day teaching is you try and get that grip as far away as you can. The classic thing with driver, and there is a certain level of correctness to it if you trying to eke every single little ounce of speed and power out of your swing. But the idea, they say, is to get nice and wide on the way back, and then of course we're talking a bit up here and having that grip as far away from you as possible, which allows you to be able to then drop it into the slot on the way through and then power through and gain some extra speed. If you've got a golf club which is going through 2 different planes, and you see it on Instagram and all other sites where you have that tracing between whether it be the grip or the club head, you see the trace go nice and wide on the way back, and then they have this pull in. And so you have this banana, you have a long out and then a short in. Now, that's 2 different moves. That's a lot of movement that this golf club's got to go through. One on the way back, which is a completely different on the way down. You've got a 2-plane swing as such. Now what I opt for is I opt for someone like Ben Hogan, where I have my elbows very close to me on the way back. Yes, I haven't got a huge separation here. I haven't got my trail arm extended as much as possible. I have got my trail arm quite close to me, which means then my shaft goes very, very close, parallel to my shoulder, no different to Ben Hogan. Ben Hogan was very, very close on, especially a lot of his shots, how close he was to himself. But then he swings through in that one plane, and he was always one of these people that sort of, he was very pro trying to swing and keeping your elbows connected to the body. When everything's connected, there's less to go wrong, more compact. That's the whole idea. So that's why I chose that route. When I had limited time at that point, many moons ago, to get better, I chose to go that route just purely of its simplistic nature, and it didn't take as long for me to learn. You can end up hitting shots where you stay more connected. Now there is a certain part of power which I have added in my swing, which I'll show in a second, but you can see from this swing, I just keep everything fairly connected. Again, not bad whatsoever. Slightly low toe strike, but again, hit the number, that's what you want to do. So on that swing, and I'll see if I can get that one on camera, my arms stay quite close to my body on the way back, and then when I come through, again, I am already in the slot. My elbows are close to me, and I don't have to drop anything in because it's already there. It enables me to be fairly consistent with my path delivery. It enables me to be fairly consistent with my face delivery, and also strike moves around because we are all human, but it's much more consistent because I haven't got to time many, many different moves. Now, there is a certain point of power. We'll get into this one now, because the whole idea of the more modern day swing where it is wider and then you drop it in, and that means then you can fire it through, the whole idea is power. And yes, there is a certain amount of truth to that. But if you imagine you're going up to the top of your backswing, and then you're dropping it down, the only thing really moving is the handle. The head's not really doing much whatsoever. And so how much really are you gaining? Now, okay, there's going to be a small percentage gain, and yes, it probably will do. Now, I swing at 90, what was the last one? 93 miles an hour, 93.3 miles an hour with a 7-iron, and I do not have a super powerful wide swing. So you don't need it. But what I do use is ground force. Now, it's not something necessarily that Ben Hogan used, or not in the way that he would actually describe. And so what you'll see at my top of my backswing, I'll get to a point no different to Ben Hogan. I'll be nice and compact, nice and tight in, but I'm already pushing into the ground. So on the way down, again, not changing anything to do with the route and rerouting the club because I don't need to. It's already in the slot. And then you push down and I'm pushing back up again just before impact, or that's the feeling. Now, unless you've got ground force plates, gear systems and stuff like that, very difficult to measure. And with everything in golf, it's not harder, it's earlier when you're trying to change something. I press into the ground and then push up, and so it gives me a little bit of extra speed. Now, I find that is a much more useful and productive use of speed than trying anything going up here. If I go up here, obviously I get disconnected. As soon as I get disconnected, I have to then reroute on the way down, bring it in, which is an extra move. And when everything's moving very quickly, it gets very difficult to be able to control your swing. So if you want to try and get better, you want to try and get a bit more consistent, take away those big shots, those big numbers, those big bad ones on the scorecard, and you want to make your swing a little bit more simplistic, have a little look at Ben Hogan and how he does things and see if you can utilize a certain amount of his teachings in your own swing. Be a bit more compact, be a bit less things to go wrong, and hopefully then you can start hitting much better, cleaner, closer shots to target, fingers crossed, and then make your swing a little bit easier for you to 1, practice, 2, get better, and 3, perform more consistently more of the time. So hope you liked the video. If you did, go on, thumbs up, like button down there. YouTube likes, so do I. Down there is a subscribe button. It's free. It is great for the channel if you could subscribe, so thank you. And next to that is a bell icon. That's a notification bell. If you click that one, that'll notify you next time I upload another video. So I hope you're well. We'll see you again soon.